Hey guys, it's Skymer here, and welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the last episode, I did a really dumb move, because I decided to go into battle without a full deployment roster. How I did not read the red text that just said, "You can still deploy one more unit, you freaking idiot." No, I just ignored it. I literally just thought that it said commence the battle instead of it saying commence the battle anyway. Sometimes you just really gotta read the fine print and the red text that's given to you. But we did the battle pretty flawlessly anyway, aside from Exham falling in battle, but that's okay. He's not technically an official part of the army. Maybe yet, maybe ever, but like, still, he was not a part of my army, so I didn't really care too much. So we're gonna start off today by going to Ironstone in Esfrost, because a certain report has reached the ears of the Archduke. So let's hear what this news is.
Thalus, how does Dragan fare?
And here is the Archduke that we've heard so much about, but never actually seen yet. This is Gustavus Esfrost, the Archduke of Esfrost. A firm believer in freedom, he is a broad-minded and level-headed ruler who has brought his nation to new heights by promoting those with skill rather than social status.
As blustery and boastful as ever, brother. He is simply beside himself that his contributions to the mine have been recognized.
So he has achieved a measure of success. Perhaps I underestimated him.
What concern is he of ours? He is Svarog's son and of thinner blood.
We are not Glenbrook or Hyzant, Thalus. In Esfrost, a man is judged for his deeds, not his pedigree.
And yet you have appointed me Prime Minister, have you not?
I have given you an opportunity, brother. Do not be mistaken. If you wish to keep your position, prove to me you are deserving of it.
Understood, brother mine.
Dear brother, do with Thalus as you please, but I bid you be wary of Dragan and Svarog. I've reason to believe they've designs on higher seats.
If they mean to overthrow me, then let them try. I shall relish the opportunity to crush them.
Way to put Talus in his place, Gustavus. Good. That's exactly what they deserve, in my humble opinion. I just gave you an opportunity to prove yourself as Prime Minister. That doesn't mean that I put you there just because you happen to be my blood relative. That had nothing to do with it. I love it. I did want to give a small update here. That I did do a tiny bit of training because of the factor that I didn't deploy Anna when I probably could have in the last map. So I did do a little bit of training. She didn't get a level up or anything, but just for the experience gain. A little bit more will at least have her at a chance to get to level 5 a little bit faster. Speaking of level 5, Roland did hit level 5 in that battle, and Eridor I also deployed since he was only level 3, so he got a little bit more experience and got a level up. I am really starting to like Eridor just because he is extremely tanky compared to the rest of the army. I mean, of course he is a shield bearer, but you know what I mean. Sometimes having that nice armored dude on a team really does sell it. So now that all that is out of the way and I don't have to deal with Talus and Erica's bullcrap anymore, we're gonna go back to the main story at the Goddess's Domain. Their duty fulfilled, Serenoa and House Wolffort bid farewell to the holy state of Hyzant.
It's time we head home. You aren't forgetting anything, are you, my lord?
Eridor, I told you, I'm not a child anymore.
I'm sorry, my lord. Whenever I see your face, I can't help but think of the lad I once knew.
Can you not lower your voice? You'll disturb the whole city at this rate.
House Wolffort certainly is lively.
Indeed. I've never seen such a big, happy family.
I'm glad they allowed you to travel with us.
As am I. I intend to revolutionize the world with my research.
Very well and good, but we also have a wedding to prepare for. Busy times lie ahead, Frederica.
Yes.
Let us make it a grand wedding. Huette, prepare an extravagant gift worthy of my best friend.
Yes, Your Highness.
It seems I'm just in time. I came to thank you and see you off on behalf of the Holy One.
We are the ones who should thank you. Glenbrook and House Wolfort shall not forget your kindness.
I'm happy to have seen Hyzant with my own eyes. Till we meet again.
Prince Roland, Lord Serenoa, the future of Norzelia is in the hands of the young, those like ourselves. I much look forward to our next meeting.
We have heard much about how all in Hyzant are blessed by the goddess's teachings. And yet, they told us almost nothing of the Roselle. What sort of lives do they live here? What sort of life did Mother lead?
Is something the matter, Frederica?
Forgive me. I was merely lost in thought.
Thoughts of the Roselle, I presume.
Yes. I wondered what effect it might have on your relations with Hyzant, now that we are to wed.
Right now, our three nations work together, but none can say what the future holds. Whatever may occur, know that you will not have to bear it alone. It will be a burden for all of House Wolfort to bear, together.
Thank you, Serenoa.
His diplomatic visit as Lord of the House complete, Serenoa returns to the Wolfort domain. Safely within Glenbrook, Roland and Huette retire to Whitehome in the Crown City. Alas, there is no time for rest in House Wolfort, as Serenoa soon finds himself swept up in preparations for his wedding to Frederica. Dragan, meanwhile, presides over the blasting of a new tunnel at the Grand Norzellian mines.
Chapter 4, A New Dawn. Whatever that new dawn may hold is up in smoke.
That should be the end of that bothersome bedrock. Investigate it at once.
What in the name of iron?
What is it? Do we require more explosives?
No, Lord Dragan. You best come see for yourself.
What the? It couldn't be.
That settles the wedding program, then. We still must decide upon the wedding dress, however.
Not we, Benedict. Surely the lady herself must decide. What do you desire, Frederica?
Well...
Hadn't you mentioned wanting to dress in the Rosellan custom for the ceremony?
Then you'd best ask the Roselle about that. There's a Rosellan village here in the domain. I'm sure they'd make you a dress if you asked.
But what of the other nations in attendance? Surely Hyzant would not look kindly upon it. Lord Simon, is it true that you assisted the Roselle who fled Hyzant during the war, and that you then granted them asylum here?
Aye, that is how the Roselle came to live within our domain.
It was a source of great tension, but in the end, Lord Simon's perseverance prevailed, and a group of Roselle found new homes here. To this day, the Holy State demands they be returned to Hyzant, citing their goddess's teachings as justification.
The roots of the conflict run deep. Nevertheless, it is our duty to protect those who we have sworn to take under our wing. Should you choose to dress in the Rosellan custom, we shall stand behind you every step of the way.
Is that so? Then... I see not how I could refuse such a kindness.
I shall accompany you to the village. To tell the truth, I have never been there myself. It would be a good opportunity to get to know them to strengthen our bonds.
As is your duty, my son.
Rosellan custom it is, then. Let us depart at once to make the request.
Aye, all of us! Ooh, I can't wait to see what they come up with.
I thought I saw the blue arrow moving here, that was gonna be like another narration scene, and it just wasn't. So I was like, wait a minute, is this another thing that I need to be muted, that the mic needs to be muted for? Or is it just, okay, yeah. But regardless, this is one of the many reasons I love Lord Simon. Like, you know, taking, you know, the people, you know, basically the refugees that fled from Hyzant and came to live here in Glenbrook. You know, him taking them under his wing and saying, you know, we will take care of you. That is so wholesome, and that is what being a leader of a kingdom is about. Is even just not caring for the people that are within your kingdom, but outside the kingdom coming in as well. I just find it so endearing. It's fantastic. And supporting Frederica to have any dress that she wants, and saying that the lady gets to decide what she wants to wear to the occasion. I mean, this is a wedding after all. The lady should decide what she wants to wear and what she wants to do. That is just the way it goes, and same thing for the groom as well. However, let's go ahead and head straight into it, considering that there is nothing else going on, which it doesn't appear to be. Okay. Well, let's just head on to our next exploration phase. Now, this is actually going to be the first exploration phase that I do not know, because the demo ended right at the end of Chapter 3. So this is going to be all new to me as well, so I'm excited. Serenoa visits the Rosellan village in his domain for the first time in hopes that they will make his betrothed's wedding dress.
Greetings and welcome, Lord Serenoa and Lady Frederica. My name is Jerome. I bid you welcome on behalf of the Roselle.
Oh my, he's quite handsome. The representative of the Rosellan village, Jerome Lazenby. Head of the Rosellan village in the Wolfort domain, he is deeply respected by his people.
And congratulations on your engagement, as well as assuming lordship of your house.
You have my gratitude. We hope you will continue to lend your support to House Wolfort.
You have my word. I owe your Lord Father a great debt. Though, even were that not the case, you are engaged to one of our own in Lady Frederica. few things could bring us more joy. We shall make the finest dress you have ever seen.
On that subject, I have one humble request. I would like to incorporate this pendant into the design.
The pendant you're never without.
'Tis one of a kind, left to me by my late mother. She was one of the Rosellan refugees who fled Hyzant during the war and found her way to Esfrost. In a twist of fate, she fell in love with the former Archduke, and thus was I born. In secret, of course. After I was born, she was sent back to Hyzant, where she met her end.
I see why it never leaves you. Pray fashion the dress in this pendant's image.
It shall be done, my lord. Let us delay no further. Lady Frederica, please step inside, that we may take your measurements.
Thank you kindly.
The measurements may take some time, Lord Serenoa. Perhaps you'd care to take a stroll and see the village while you wait.
I'd very much like that. Thank you.
That was so wholesome. Perhaps I'll have a look around the village and get to know its people while they're taking her measurements. Okay, so let's start exploring the Rosellan village. Lord Simon offered us his protection without a word about our origins or our troubled history. His generosity is boundless, and I fear we shall never repay it. Instead, I simply pray that our village remains protected. I bear a great responsibility to these people. It falls to me to keep their land free from harm, no matter what the cost. You learned about Serenoa's duty. That is not the screen that I need to go to. Lord Simon has long been loved and admired not only by his own people, but by the Roselle. Now that Serenoa has succeeded his father as Lord of the House, the responsibility of protecting all people of Wolffort falls on his shoulders. No pressure. Jeez.
Your hair certainly does make you stand out, my lord. We don't get many visitors to our fair village.
This music, can we just take a minute? It is so beautiful. We will be talking to that elderly gentleman in time. I just want to make sure that we talk to everybody before we do the conviction choices.
We play together almost every day. Today we're climbing the ladder to the roof and playing lookouts.
Please be careful, child. Please. For the sake of my sanity, please do that. Oh! Wow, that was just a ladder. Okay, did not see that. I pray today's hunt goes well. I'd love to fetch a fine pelt for House Wolffort. Oh, now that would be pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so let me go ahead and make sure that the camera is, not acting up on me. Okay, oh my gosh, the camera! We must be strong and vigilant if we are to maintain the peace we have enjoyed on these lands. Okay, I do see something here. HP recovery pellet, quite normal. I just want to make sure, because I think I missed something when I was exploring the city streets of Hyzant, so I want to see if I can get everything this time around.
Though we may be under House Wolffort's prediction.
Prediction? Oh my gosh.
Though we may be under House Wolffort's protection, we dare not leave the village. The goddess's faithful will haul us straight back to the source if they catch sight of us.
You know, this is what I don't like about, you know, how they are being treated. Just one of the many reasons, to be honest. They are basically living in fear. I mean, there is no denying it. They are living in fear every single day that something is going to happen to their kind if they are discovered. That is horrible. Do they believe in cats here too? I love how it's got a different meow than the last two. Oh my gosh, you people are my favorite. Not just for that reason, okay? I mean, it's definitely not just for that reason, but They have cats here just laying around, living the perfect life that they all deserve. This is the thing that will protect them. You know, House Wolford, I mean, yes, I guess they will protect the Rosellan villages, but the cats will also do it. Actually, no, they won't.
We'll just be a bit longer taking Frederica's measurements. Please have a look around the village in the meanwhile.
Well, I didn't know that that was your role assigned here. Okay, is there anything behind here? I think that was the thing that I checked before, so let me just go up here. Very interesting that they have ladders just to climb on top of their buildings. Quite inventive. We've made our home here in the valley in the hopes we'd not be discovered. Use the lay of land to our advantage, like. Okay. And is there any houses for me to explore? I don't see any. Oh wait, no, there is a door here. Okay, perfect. Let's go in here. Oh, Anna's in. Oh, a lot of people are in here. Okay.
The Roselles share a portion of the forest's bounty with House Wolford each year, as thanks for their safekeeping. Their quality pellets and fresh fruit make for a significant portion of House Wolford's capital.
That is awesome. I mean, I feel like in Serenoa's eyes, they don't even have to repay anything, you know? It's just because of the life that they've lived. Marvels of Norzelia, Volume 10. Another one. Situated at the edge of the Hyzantian Desert, the Citadel of the Sands is the Holy State's first line of defense. It has been the site of countless battles throughout history, including the vicious border skirmishes of the Salt Iron War. Due to its importance, one of the Saintly Seven has always overseen its command. After the Salt Iron War, Minister Sorcelay End assumed the position and began the work of developing the Citadel into a trading post. To think that a place that has witnessed so much bloodshed could transform into a peaceful hub of commerce. Life truly is full of surprises. Perhaps that's why, though Hyzant rarely gets visitors from other lands, here I often catch glimpses of people whose providence I cannot discern. Or perhaps it's only my imagination. Hyzant has so much mystery to it. I still don't understand to this day as to why they're treated in such a way, you know, that the Rosellan are treated in such a way of, you know, in their country, but at the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's just the world, the way the world works.
I regret to say this is my first time visiting the Rosellan village. I'm happy to see that they flourished under Lord Simon's protection these last 30 years.
Definitely. I will support them wholeheartedly. I couldn't believe my eyes when the Roselle arrived in the domain during the Salt Iron War. I'd never seen anyone so downtrodden. Moves me to my core to see them thriving in peace times after all they went through. Now we just gotta keep them safe.
I am eternally grateful to House Wolford. We would not be alive today if not for your protection. As a steward of this village, I pray we can work together to ensure a lasting peace.
I would love to do that, yes! Sign me up!
There's just so much purity to these people, so much kindness. I mean, it's even more inspiring to see how much they've been through, and yet they still respect society. I mean, they might live in fear, but that doesn't mean that they are fearful of literally anybody. They're still willing to open their arms.
We came to this land in the midst of the Salt Iron War, desperate to escape Hyzant's extraordinary cruelty. Your father then granted us asylum in our hour of need, shielding us from further harm.
I would have done the same. We have a duty to help those in need. I pray the day comes when you no longer require protection and are free to live your lives unfettered. And I intend to honor that. Let us work together and make this land a prosperous one for your people. I think I'm going to go with this option. I will honor my father's word and carry on its legacy.
I cannot thank you enough for those kind words. May they be a beacon of hope for the generations to come. We will do all in our power to make it so.
Father granted the Roselle asylum on our lands. Though they once hailed from Hyzant, they are now as much a part of the Wolford domain as anyone else.
You learned about the Roselle in the Wolfort domain. "30 years ago, Lord Simon granted his protection to a group of Roselle who escaped the source. Ever since, they have lived quietly in a remote village, far from the rest of the domain's inhabitants. Their gratitude toward House Wolfort endures to this day. And hopefully forevermore." Gosh, I'm just so happy. I mean, like, who does not find this entire place to just be so incredible?
It's no fun staying in the village all the time. I want to go play somewhere else. But Mother gets mad at me if I go too far.
You'll be able to venture further afield when you're older, and when that day comes, I'll show you both around the domain myself. But there's plenty of fun to be had here. I'm sure your mother would be pleased if you took up hunting or fishing. That's because you're precious to her. You do well to heed her words. Well, as a person who had parents that both really, who still love me, obviously, but what I like to consider them is that my mother was a person of tough love. She was a person that wanted me to respect everybody that I came across in life and respect authority, but at the same time, she was big into making sure that I was not just a good person, but I was independent, and I knew when to say no. And so, as a person that believes that moms are absolute legends and heroes of this world, it is because mothers love their children, and you should heed their advice.
But I don't want to be in this village forever.
Don't despair, my child. You'll be able to leave the village soon enough, and your mother with you.
If you say so. It would be nice to go on a trip with her once it's safe.
Exactly. I mean, your parents are only getting older, and you know, there may come a day when you won't see them again, and so it's important to take every lasting moment with them. Okay, I'm gonna take one last look around, make sure that I didn't miss any sparklies on the ground, and then we will make our way to our next part of the story. Okay, I think we are all good. I explored pretty much everywhere around that I could find, so we got some money and some HP recovery pellets, so let's go ahead and move on with the story. Surely they'll have finished taking her measurements by now.
Do you understand just how dangerous it is for a young prince to go gallivanting off on a whim?
Punish me if you will. But if I hadn't gone gallivanting, I never would have learned the state of things outside our own kingdom.
Oh? Well, if you are so interested in international affairs, then I have a fitting role for you to play. You will oversee the Grand Norzellian mines.
Father, it would be a privilege.
I fear that punishment would provoke no reflection, and so I would rather put your energies to work for the kingdom.
I shan't let you down, Father.
I am not blind to your feelings, my son. I understand that my methods vex you. Nevertheless, I ask that you stay out of harm's way, and give me no reason to worry.
Of course.
Mining is grueling, thankless work. Show the miners the appreciation they deserve.
I shall. You have my word.
The necessary provisions have been arranged, Your Highness. You are to deliver them to Dragan.
Father, may I bring Lord Wolfort? It is his job to oversee the operation after all. And his closeness with Dragan may engender goodwill.
I know you trust him a great deal, Roland. But I would remind you that his betrothal now binds him to Esfrost. You would do well to be wary of any move he or his house might make.
So you share Franny's views on the matter. Nevertheless, Serenoa is a friend I could never hope to replace. A friend I trust no matter your opinion of him.
concerning words, Your Highness. House Wolford must be subject to the same scrutiny as any other.
Roland.
Bring these tidings to Gustadolf at once. Is that everyone? Good. I have important news for all of you. What you see before you is to be seized by the Duchy of Esfrost. You shall not speak of this beyond those in present company. Any who do will be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
But, Lord Dragan, are not the resources we mine destined to be shared among nations?
This matter is not up for debate. A discovery of this magnitude could reshape all of Norzelia. And so I ask this of you. Stand with me as I lead this great realm into a new era.
You risk much giving us these orders. I shall do exactly as you say.
I thank you. I have already sent the Archduke a letter informing him of our find. When I am appointed Prime Minister, I promise to reward you all handsomely for delivering me such a boon.
You are to be Prime Minister?
Or Ambassador to Glenbrook, perhaps. Time will tell. Either way, with this I shall make my mark. And do what neither Father nor Gustadolf ever could.
What news from Dragan, dear brother?
I never dreamt our hypothesis would prove true.
So you take him at his word?
I have no choice. The spy I sent to shadow him corroborates his report.
And? What are his demands?
He wishes to be named Prime Minister in exchange for secreting it away to Esfrost. Negotiations with Glenbrook are in the offing, should I refuse.
So he means to threaten you?
He is stronger than I believed him to be. Certainly what he has uncovered is worth the price he asks. What would you do, were you me?
Keep the secret safe, naturally. Did you not send a spy for this very reason? Surely expected this would happen.
I did, and they have been issued emergency orders.
Then leave the rest to me. I shall depart at once.
How fortunate I am to have a brother who knows me so well. Ah, Dragan, you were rue the day you dared place Glenbrook beside me on the scales of your feeble judgment. I hand down the orders. Yield or be crushed beneath my heel.
Okay, the dramatics. The dramatics were insane. Yeah. First of all, with King Ragna, I have no idea how to feel about him. I feel like a part of him wants to respect Roland for what he wants to do, and he sees that, which is great, because I know that I said when I was going over his profile several episodes back, I wanted to see how he spoke to his children. And it is how I expected, and yet not how I expected. I was expecting him to be completely against Roland's, way of life, but he sees it and understands his point of view, but basically just says, but, you're still one of the princes of this kingdom, so, so instead he's like, okay, well, you might as well just put, this whole idea of your life to work instead of, just staying here. So I don't know, though. Just the way that he was talking down to Roland, it's not ideal for anybody to be treated that way, but, whatever. And then with this, I feel like I don't know how to feel about Dragan at this point. Because now it sounds like that due to this whole mining discovery, he
seems to be getting a little too full of himself a little too quickly. And if he does plan to overthrow and threaten the Grand Duchy, I certainly would not be keeping that a secret. I mean, I know that that might be declaring an all-out war, but either way, isn't there going to be some attempt at an assassination anyway? Which is going to spark the... I mean, because if you're going to overthrow somebody, you're going to fight them. You can't just be like walking inside their throne room and be like, I made a huge mining discovery, so I'm going to go out here and just take your throne. What do you expect Gustadolf to do? Just be like, yes, I will sit off of my chair and I will allow you to just take my role, take my whole life, take all of my expectations away from me, so you may, so I may resign and give you everything. No, he's not going to do that. I mean, so I don't know, but I guess I can see Talus's idea just to kind of let him walk with it for now, but obviously we don't know what the discovery is, so... Alright, well let's hop right back into the Rosellan village. Roland comes to the Rosellan village bearing a proposal for Serenoa.
The dress measurements are finished at last. I applaud your patience.
Is it exactly as you hoped?
It is indeed. I can hardly wait to see it finished.
I am glad to hear it.
There you are.
Prince Roland. And Huette besides. What brings you here?
We were looking for you.
We inquired around Castle Wolfort and heard you all had come here.
Has something happened?
Father has asked me to keep watch over the mines. Won't you join me?
You scarcely need ask, of course.
A wise course of action, seeing as you will be overseeing the mining operations.
And we can present Dragan with the gifts we procured abroad.
A fine opportunity to get to know the man better. He is quite talented, is he not?
He is a man with grand visions for the future, that much is certain. I shall tell you more of him along the way.
Then let us waste not one moment more. To the mines!
I'll have the dress ready in time for the ceremony, my lord.
You have my thanks, Jerome.
Serenoa and Frederica journey to the Rosellan village so she may be fitted for her wedding gown. The young lord gains an unexpected moment of quietude while he waits. However, Roland soon arrives with orders from King Regna to inspect the Grand Norzellian mines, where Dragan has made great progress.
Okay, so in the next episode, it looks like we're going to be exploring the mines. So wow, just exploration after exploration after exploration, it feels like. This game really wants me to explore stuff, which I will never say no to. Well, you know, when they were discussing about, when Roland was talking about inspecting the mines, it brought up another thing that I remember that King Regna told to Roland in that scene, and I didn't think about it before. When he was talking about, oh, well, Serenoa, I don't really know if you should be trusting him because now he's going to be linked to Esfrost. And I'm like, okay. First of all, that's completely, I mean, that is completely irrational, in my opinion, because, first of all, once again, why are people taking Serenoa's name and putting it in so many other people's mouths? Like, I don't get it. Like, why does he have to be responsible for everybody else's actions? I mean, sure, being lord of a house means that you have to preside over everybody, but at the same time, you're creating order, you're talking to the people, you're trying to do the best for the social and financial aspects of your kingdom. Whatever. But that still does not mean that he has to take responsibility for everybody else's things. I mean, Frederica was put into a life where she was basically a cornered cat from the very beginning of her life. I mean, she was born of the Archduke's concubine, which is obviously the former Archduke's mistress, and
her mother fled Hyzant, moves to Esfrost, goes back to Hyzant, and perishes there. By what means, I have no idea. Which is very dark, to say the least. But I still am just so mad about that. I'm like, I mean, come on. You can't just say, I mean, he's from Glenbrook too. I mean, I don't understand where he's saying like, oh, well, he's tying House Wolfort to Esfrost. And I'm like, but that does not apply to you too? You're just from a different city in the same freaking kingdom. So what Serenoa does, I mean, basically, you're part of the same kingdom. You would be taking responsibility to bear for that too. Ugh. I feel like some of the things that he just says are just irritating, and they just don't make any sense, and it makes it even more irritating. Ugh. Sorry, I just had to vent a lot in this episode, because some characters I am hugely admirable towards, and other characters I just despise and don't get. Like, I want to get to know them more, and I don't want to just use first impressions as a way for me to view them completely, but still. I mean, Roland's Serenoa's best friend. They're best friends. Like, why would you not trust that? You know? So anyway, in the next episode, we make for the mines, and along with Roland in tandem. And so I will see you guys in the next episode. This was Skymer, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.